Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Monday Night Talk. It's After Time. I am your host, the Gov, and this is your chance to have your say on your football club. Okay, the grumpy Gov today. Apparently, I've been very grumpy today. I'm not sure how people notice because my wife would say I'm grumpy every day. But hey ho, apparently today I've been more grumpier than normal. It's what happens when you support Ipswich Town Football Club. Let's be brutally honest. I'm looking forward to this because there's no sort of talking points I've given to the contributors. There's no homework. There was nothing. It was just this is a conversation on the weekend that has been, which is Plymouth, obviously a 2-1 defeat. And tomorrow night, Wycombe, who are currently sitting third, 11 points ahead of Ipswich. When I saw that, because I was writing the description up for tomorrow night's pre-game show, 11 points, my head nearly exploded. I'm going to be honest. So I'm looking forward to hearing what the guys and girls have to say about that. As always, it's your platform. This is for fans, by fans, and you can get involved in a manner of ways. First of all is obviously our live chat, which I can see many of you have done now, or come on the show. Ask for a link. Just say link, and I will drop a link into the live chat. Come on the show. Have your say about anything you want, anything you've heard over the last weekend. Maybe something Marcus did just say he didn't agree with. Maybe something he did say you agreed with. Whatever it is. Your platform to have your say. Let's get a few comments before I bring in some contributors. We've got EJ Norris. Good evening, Gov, and all the Talking Town family. Good evening, EJ. Eddie Spaghetti is in the room. So is Emerson. Mike's on the bank side. Mike catches some lovely fish for our supper, please. That sounds. Eddie Spaghetti. Just think this time tomorrow night will be 2 or 3 up. I'd have whatever Eddie's having this evening. Lee, evening all. 4 days to go to the weekend. That's the positive mentality that Lee Anderson is famous for. It's Monday night, but he's already said it's 4 days to go to the weekend. So he's put the positive spin on that. We've got Mike having a conversation in the chat. We'll get involved with this one. Mike the Fishman, with respect, you can say that about every game we have lost or drawn. It's getting boring. Robert says, even all our record on Tuesday night is decent this season, so I'm optimistic for a 1-0 win. Well, you mentioned optimistic. Let's bring in our first contributor. He's always optimistic. It is, of course, Matty McPhillips. Bringing the Avalanche all the way from Scotland. You've a little bit of a tongue twister there. We Matty McPhillips. How are you, Matt? Ark me doon.
I'm very good, thanks. I'm back from the banks of Loch Lomond. Very nice place, Scotland. Vastly superior to England in some places. Better accents, better whiskies, better landscape, better livestock, Highland cows. It's all good.
Football teams that can actually hold on to leads. Do they even exist anymore?
The home of John Walk, Alan Brazil, Jules Burley, Christoph Berra. I could go on, couldn't I? It was very good. Very nice place, Scotland. I loved it. Yeah, it was great.
Good. Well, their losses now are gain, if you can see it that way. So you're back on the platform. Looking forward to getting your thoughts this evening. He's just tossed the cow into the distance. He's Tom Brady it. Touchdown in the end zone. So, Matt, we Matty McPhillips. Did you find Loch Ness? That's the real question as we kick off tonight's show.
Too far north. That's quite a way up, Loch Ness, because we did look like going there to begin with because my son's obsessed with the Loch Ness Monster.
Is he?
Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, he is. Yeah. So we were looking for him in Loch Lomond to know about.
In case he got lost on holiday.
Yeah.
Next, he's going past my sat nav.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Obviously the weekend's just been. It's Plymouth. They got beat again. We'll get into it.
I got back to it. Yeah.
Oh, good. So you've seen the 90 then. You've seen the 90.
I've seen the 90. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to that. Matt Brandon says bad loss for Brady last night. Yes, the Saints have his number. They certainly do.
Neil Perks. Is that where he's at these days?
It certainly is. Yes. Last week he was giving a whooping to the Bears, so I know all about Tom Brady. Neil Perks, love watching Edmondson on Saturday. Best centre back we've had. He's certainly a Rolls Royce for a centre half. Lee Brown says, did you try haggis?
We did. We had haggis, neeps, and tatties.
Oh,
yeah, it's a bit. You need a bit of vegetables in there. I told us some extra vegetables in it. They also have haggis crisps.
Really?
Mackie crisps, very good. I don't know if you can get them down here. Very nice. Yeah, they do.
You see, haggis. I love a bit of haggis. I really do.
Nice.
I really, really do.
Had some nice salmon too. Very nice salmon fillet I had on a couple of occasions.
Oh, very nice. Yes. The Prediction League is available to play. It is now in play.
I got points now, yeah?
No, you certainly haven't. No, this is this week's predictions. We've got Ipswich Town, Oldham, AFC, Sudbury, Colchester. Be aware that is a Friday night. So if you are playing, get your predictions in. Northampton, Cambridge, and Brentford versus Norwich. How good were Norwich at the weekend?
You got to laugh at Norwich fans, haven't you? Like, it was only like, 3 or 4 months ago, they were wearing hats saying HMS pissed the league and all that. Now it's getting gone. Get fucker gone.
It's called ambition and not allowing your standards to drop. You could learn a couple of things about it.
They've got ambition and standards, Norwich? I don't know.
Well, they've got, Premier League ambition. But yes, no, you're still on 0 points, by the way. I do apologise for that. You think you put 1-1 for the Cambridge game, but you didn't.
I thought
you put 2-1.
God damn it, I was going to put 1-1.
Yeah, you did put 1-1 just in the game next. So you... you were right, just on the wrong game. That happens quite a bit in this one. Yeah. Mike the Fisherman, I like Lugo, even though I was surprised by his place in the team. Hoover Cat, Fisherman's view to become a talking point at work.
Who's Brendan up there? He's from the Trossachs. Love that. Hope you enjoyed the rain, Matt. It did rain a lot, I have to say. I've never been so wet as I was at Stirling Castle Friday. It was like a shower in your clothes.
Well, we had a shower Saturday. It was a shower of shite. Let's get into it. Let's bring in our next.
It wasn't that.
Well, we lost. Doesn't matter if you play well or play badly. The end result is 0 points. Our third contributor, somebody who we love on the platform, hasn't been very well. So let's give her a warm welcome, warm TT welcome to No Filter Yorkshire V. Oh, we needed that fire on Saturday. Vicky, it's good to have you back on the platform. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Thank you.
Good. So we're here. It's the post-mortem, if you like, the fans' post-mortem. Obviously, Marcus Stewart had the expertise say yesterday. He laid down what he felt from his professional point of view. It's now our turn. So, Plymouth, 2-1. Who wants to kick us off? Because I've been grumpy all day about it. Matt, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
How did you see it? What's your talking points coming from it?
It was, I have to say, I did have the ump Saturday night and went to bed early because my wife said I was being too grumpy. I was right the next day. I feel like
brilliant.
I feel like we didn't deserve to lose the game, but deserve and what you get at the end as the end result are two different things, aren't they? At the end of the day, Plymouth scored 2 and we scored 1. Big shout out to Plymouth Displays, by the way, for the Paul Mariner thing they did beforehand. I mean, that was just fantastic. You forget. He's so synonymous with Ipswich. You forget how much he's loved down there. He's like their greatest ever player. So I thought that was absolutely brilliant. They took 150 man hours to get them flags set up.
Wow.
Really? Just for that 60 seconds. I mean, I'd take my hat off to everyone at Plymouth. Absolutely brilliant to do that. Brilliant. But I don't know. I think it was just a case of we missed a lot of really good chances, didn't we? What would have happened if Bond had scored in that first 2 minutes? You'd have put your mortgage on him scoring there, wouldn't you?
Well, possibly so, but he didn't. And if McGrann had Will, she'd be a bike.
Well, I know that's the thing. As Marcus Stewart did say yesterday, it was really good defending, and I watched it back about 20 times. I rewound it back on YouTube watching it. I kept thinking maybe he should have hit it with his right foot. But I feel like he probably would have missed with his right foot anyway. So maybe the left foot was the right choice. And it wasn't a great ball from Coulson, I don't think. He bounced 2-3 times before it got to him.
Well, Marcus wanted him to shoot. Marcus said, why did Coulson lay it on why did he pass? Why didn't he take it on himself?
I do remember thinking at the time, should he have shot? But I mean, if you've got Macaulay Bond, 10, 11 goals, whatever he's got. I mean, what a run he made from his own half. I mean, that was a gut-busting run, wasn't it? From his own half to get into the position. Something you never saw last season from like a Norwood or Madrid or into a run of that nature, right? So it was a great run. He deserved a goal. He didn't go in. It was just, it was what it was, wasn't it? But we had so many chances. On another day, we would have won 4-2. We didn't. We lost 2-1. We just got to suck it up and we go again tomorrow.
Got to suck it up, Vicky. This, despite being 11 points behind Wycombe, 11 points, let that sink in a little bit. Beating Shrewsbury and beating the powerhouses of Fleetwood. I build this one as the pretender versus contender 2-game period, and they fell flat on their asses. Played well, played poorly. They still come over with 0 points. How did you see it compared to what Matt's just told you there?
Fucking Shrewsbury and Fleetwood. Come on. Fuck, is that where we're putting our bar now?
Well, apparently so.
I don't think anyone else. You can only beat what's in front of you, right? They're in our division.
You can. You absolutely can. But for me, I love Bon. And I'm so glad we've got him for now. I don't know what's going to happen. But he needed to put those away. He had 2 clear-cut chances and he didn't. And there's a reason why he's a League One striker, I'm afraid. And that's it, because as good as his goals have been, they're not great, are they? And there were sitters on Saturday that he should have put away.
Well, if you take the Portsmouth goal away, which obviously was a very hard work, diligent goal in the sense of he's closed down a goalkeeper, he has cooled off a little bit over the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Is that a fatigue thing, do you think, Vicky, coming into it?
Possibly. I think he missed Wes Burns, because Wes Burns, Chaplin and Bon, I think, are a real good lineup, and they talk to each other and they know where they all are and things. So he's missed that presence in the last couple of games, definitely. But he hasn't looked sharp.
Would you give him a rest there, Matt? Do you think it's fatigue?
Maybe. I mean, look, it would be harsh to give him a rest considering his goal record. I mean, look, you have got Piggott sitting on the bench, raring to go after how many 20-plus goals he got from England last season. It does seem a little bit harsh for him to be sitting on the bench. But at the end of the day, there's a reason why Bon has been put out on loan by QPR, because he's not really fitting in with their plans, right? That's the reason why he's 4th or 5th in the pecking order, and that's why he's come here. And he's done really well, but he's come to a League One team. And the reason he'll get into the Championship side is because he probably doesn't take all his chances. And unfortunately, we saw that on Saturday. But there's no time that he's been fantastic for us.
Oh, he has, and I love him.
Yeah.
But, like I said, there's a reason why he's a League One striker.
Exactly. Yeah. If he was really, really good, I always say this, don't I, mine? It goes back to Jet. If Jet had been really, really good for Arsenal, Wenger would have kept him. If Bon was being really, really good at QPR, Mark Wilson would say he's going nowhere. But that's the reason why he's come to us.
But he did miss the chances, and strikers can miss them. That's what happens. And Mark says, they always said, if striker hasn't scored within the hour, bring on the other lad who will score. Fishing with Nick, Bon is getting in the places for the shots. He has missed a couple, but so did Edwards and Harper. We've got Ryan start pick at Tuesday, can hold the ball up better than Bon. Bon looks a bit tired. I think we're, Bon obviously is a big talking point because those chances do mean points and points mean prizes or lack of in this instance. But I think I want to start with the Coulson situation. Like, playing in right wing, where are we on that? Obviously, Burns was ill. Donatian was either ill or injured. Aluko injured. So I think Donatian was ill. Where are we on this one? Because I'm still so shocked that he played a left back in the right of midfield when he's got Joe Piggott on the bench. He's got Selena on the bench. You can, he's so wedded, Matt, to this 4-2-3-1 that he makes Fred Flintstone look progressive.
Was that explained at all in like the post-match stuff? Why he started? Did anyone ask him that?
No.
Did Brendan ask him that? Did he say that? It was very odd. I mean, I do agree it was odd. Considering Selena's there, he's buzzing after the 94th minute winner against Fleetwood. It seemed very odd that you would have a £3 million player, which is what Selena is, moving from Swansea to Dijon, to sit on the bench. Now, unless he was carrying a slight knock, or he wasn't, he was feeling under the weather, I don't know. He certainly looked pretty good when he come on, didn't he? But not to start him seemed an odd move to me. It did seem an odd move.
Could you have not switched the formation of it? Even if Selena's not, let's say he's not ready to start, he's carrying a slight knock. Could you have not switched the formation, maybe brought Piggott on? I mean, Bond did play out wide in the pre-season friendlies for a couple of times. Like, it's not so alien that you could play Bond slightly wide if you have to. Surely, Vicky, like the left back at right midfield.
Yeah, it was a really strange decision for me, and I like Coulson, and I think we've missed him because for me in the team, Penny is one of the weakest links for me. Him and Wolfie, I just get nervous every time their name comes up. So when I saw Coulson, I thought, yeah, that's all right. But then to play him so far out of position, it just seems I don't understand the game management that Cook's bringing out. I just don't get it.
It would have been helpful if someone had asked him that question. What was the thinking behind that? But we don't know. We don't know, do we? That's the issue.
Somebody asked a helpful question. Never.
Coulson could have had an assist within 2 minutes of the game. He'd have been buzzing, wouldn't he?
Thing is, though, but this is football. People always say it's fine margins and all that and all blah blah blah. But that's football. Football to a T is fine margins. It's like Arsenal, Man United.
The fine margin, Martin, is that they've got a sold out crowd. It's the biggest crowd in God knows how long down at Home Park. They should have been a goal down within 120 seconds.
Yeah.
That would have deflated the balloon big time, wouldn't it? But it didn't happen.
We've got Lead Bears. I think we'll come out tomorrow like Pompey. 3-1 win tomorrow. I think they'll be up for it. Ipswich Town. As good as Bon is for us, we can't be only relying on him to chip in for the goals. EJ, if he's going to play on the wing, you'd think it would have been on the left. But then Edwards is right-footed. You bring him out. Yeah, because, what made it more perplexing from my point of view is, Vicky, when he did make the switch from Coulson going off to Selena coming on, Edwards going to the right. Edwards suddenly looked more alive and in the game than at any point, and he has done since his debut.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as a manager, you must know where your best players fit, even if you don't know your best team yet, and even if you've had to rearrange it at last minute because of illnesses, you still must know where your players fit in.
Yeah,
it's fundamental. You have to know that as a manager.
And Matt, a lot of chat, and we'll bring some people in a second. I see you all waiting there. Absolutely lovely. So thank you very, very much. But a lot of chat, particularly like Lee Anderson's here saying, Selena not good enough off the ball, hence why Coulson played to strengthen up our right-hand side against their strong left. Does Ipswich Town, with its budget and its wealth and its riches, with Luke Wolfenden being the nosebleed right back that he is, do you need somebody else to shore up the right side when you've got Morse in the middle who's also limited? Like, how many defenders do you need to have on that pitch?
I get that. I do get that thinking. I mean, Marcus said yesterday, didn't it? It was tried to sort of balance up. But again, we've just been left in the void. We don't know the thinking. No one asked him the question, so we just don't know. But it did seem on paper a weird move. And I remember you texting me going, he's going to be playing on the right hand side. I was going, no chance. But wasn't it?
Normally conservative Gov actually said he'd be an idiot to play. I actually said the words idiot to play. I really did. I nearly blew my fucking headphone out. I was like, what the fuck am I saying? Is he so wedded to 4? As you can still see.
But he is. We were told this, weren't we? He's always going to be 4-2-3. It's always going to be this. That's the system he's won trophies under. So he's always going to be at it.
Wow. And that's fine, Matt, if you're putting your best players in the best positions to get the best results.
Yeah.
But when we are leaking goals, I mean, our defence is like a sieve. We're just letting them in. So however many you score, you still got to. It's never. You're never quite confident. 2-3 up. You still.
We always say where I sit, all the guys around me always say 1-0 is never safe enough for Ipswich. It's got to be 2. And even that wasn't enough against Cambridge, was it? You know what I mean?
Ben Moore with a question here for you both. Stubborn as Mick? Question mark, Matt?
Maybe, but in more of a kind of friendlier way.
Yeah, because his voice changes in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, I would agree.
Right. 1, 2, or 3, Vicky. Say a number, and that number will come into the chat right this second. 1, 2, or 3.
2.
Oh no, you've gone with 2. It's the fisherman. It's the fisherman. You've caught a big one here. You've really did it. He's been fishing all weekend on Twitter, and now he's here with us, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, Mike the Fisherman Brown. Talk to us, Mike. How you seeing things?
It's a great.
I'm trying to find something positive. Look, I don't get it. I cannot get my head around why Coulson was. I'm sorry, Lee. You're talking right out your bum, buddy. You cannot put a player like that on the right hand side. Look, it was crying. I agree. Edwards could have moved over. Salina could have gone over to the left. That was the most strangest and impractical game management I've seen for a long time at Ipswich when it comes to player choices. I get Wolfie playing right back. Okay, I get that. As much as I didn't want him there, but I kind of understand that because there was not another right back to play there. But seriously, Coulson was an absolute disaster playing that there, and it proved to be the case. Bond. Look, let's not give Bond too much hard stick because, look, I know he missed a few sitters. And, look, at the end of the day, the lad's played a lot of games. He's been our only striker on the bench, that's the only striker that can really score goals. And Paul Pickett, obviously, has had some personal issues. And, look, he needs to get some game time, Pickett. He scored a lot of goals last season. And if Bond's missing a few, give him some rest and bring him on and say, 25 minutes instead of, like he does with Piggott every 5 minutes. Oh, we'll bring him on 79 and we'll bring him on 88 minutes. See how you can change the game now, Mr. Wonder. I mean, that's just bollocks.
It's too late, isn't it? It's too late to influence the game.
I've had it up to my eyeballs with Cook. I'm fed up of fans defending him. I'm fed up of them sort of saying, oh, well, we deserve to win that game. We didn't deserve to lose it. The facts remain. We lost the games that we've lost. We've drawn the games that we've drawn. And I would say 95% of them times is down to poor in-game management. There was times the games needed to change when we were losing and it's just not happening. And I said it on Twitter earlier. I think the club's too big for Cook. I really do. I don't think when I wanted him and his whole team. I'm told that's never going to happen. So in that case, then get rid. I'm sorry, I've had enough of it. People have got this Cook. Oh, Cook is like the be all and end all. I mean, what manager comes out before the players and sits there and claps all the fans like it's all about him? It's not about him. It's about the players.
All right, take a breath, Matt. The cult of Cook, step forward.
I do agree with Wycombe. They're running out before the game starts. Yeah, win something beforehand. I mean, it was interesting. I was looking up Liam Richardson today as I was doing the prep for the show when they were at Portsmouth, and Richardson was called a right back. Perhaps he was this much heralded defensive coach that maybe Cook is missing. And when they won League Two together, they only let in 40 goals out of 46 games. So I mean, that was a pretty watertight defence, wasn't it? I get what Mike's saying. Yeah, the in-game management's not good. And Cook, look, I'm not married. Look, I was a big fan of Cook, and I thought he'd do really well for us because of his CV, and he was doing a good job at Wigan on a shoestring. And I thought he would do well for Town, and he may still do well for Town. But I'm not married to him, right? If there's someone else out there that we feel like he can progress this club quicker and better, then so be it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do get what Mike's saying in terms of the after-match interviews. They're like, oh, we deserve this. We should have seen the game out at half to go into half-time. These things didn't happen. The talk is cheap, The talk is cheap. We do keep saying the same thing over. We deserve this. We should have done that. There's only so much time where people just get fed up with that,
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, enjoy fishing, my man. Thank you for popping
guys. All the best.
And look after yourself. We're going to pivot. And before we do, we're going to go from one extreme to the other. But before we do, does the amount of goals we've conceded from winning positions and the amount of points we've now conceded, 18, I think it is now, from winning positions, does that concern you? And is it now becoming a bad habit that the club has got, Vicky?
I don't think it's a habit. I just think the defence isn't good. We need like 4 Edmondsons, don't we, in that defence? And we're not getting that right now. And individual errors are costing us goals. That's the thing.
Yeah. Matt.
And I think teams know how to play us. They study us. They know that we are so predictable and know the style of play that we can do that it's easy to read us.
I think you're right, Vicky. I do feel like if you start pressing Ipswich and really get into us, we suddenly run out of ideas. But that's when we start seeing what you call stat padding, isn't it, Martin? The ball goes from the keeper to the centre halves to Morsey, back to the centre halves. I agree with that. If you do start pressing us deep, Ipswich do seem to run out of creativity and ideas a little bit. Yeah, I do agree with that.
So what's the issue here? Because we've gone from Christian Walton to Donassian to Edmondson to Enciala or Burgess to Penny or Coulson conceding goals for fun. Whereas last year we had Tomasz Holy. If I say his name on this platform, people seem to absolutely blow their top. Right back of Luke Matheson for a game, or Luke Chambers to Toto to Wolf to Stephen bloody Ward. They were keeping clean sheets like they were going out of fashion.
Yeah.
What has changed, Matt? Why are the better players seemingly so incapable of cutting out the mistakes?
It's a great point. I don't know. Is it because we've now got more attacking endeavour that we've left ourselves exposed a little bit at the back?
I think that's it, Matt.
Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
Are we just leaving ourselves exposed? I don't know. Because on paper, I mean, I know the game's not played on paper, but on paper, we've got to, when you look at Edmondson and Burgess, which I do feel like is really Cook's 1 and 2, isn't it? Really, is those two centre halves. It's only because we've had a bit of a funny spell there that Toto's come in. Toto's done all right, to be fair to you. I'm not his biggest fan, but I think he's done all right. Certainly, Penny's very inconsistent, of course, across the half. I was going to say 90 minutes. Probably across the half. 1 minute he's sticking a crossing like Cresswell. Next minute he's defending and marking like he did for their first goal Saturday.
Yeah.
Terrible.
We were warned. He's better going forward than going backwards. We're going to pivot now and bring in Stephen, who's obviously the very much if Mike's right, Stephen's left. If Mike's left, Stephen's right. Stephen, talk to us. You've heard Mike. You've heard the contributors. What do you feel? What's going on?
I don't disagree with what a lot of Mike's saying. I think we're both coming from the same place. Mike's just more frustrated than what I am. At the end of the day, we did have chances to get something out of that game. Yeah. Everybody can turn around and say, but we didn't take them. No, we didn't. No. But is that Paul Cook's fault? Was he taking the shots? Was he playing the passes? No. If Coulson's ball had got through to Cook to Bon and Bon had put it in, it wouldn't have been Coulson was a mistake on the wing. It would have been a masterstroke. These fine margins. And we can't just throw the baby out the bathwater because everybody goes, let's get rid of Paul Cook. Well, who do we get then? Everybody goes, Chris Wilder, Eddie Howe. They're not going to come. Eddie Howe's refusing bloody Newcastle, for God's sake. You think he's coming here? Chris Wilder doesn't want to go anywhere lower than the Premier League. Do you think he's coming here? Yeah, the best we're going to get is probably Paul Warne or something like that. Nobody wants another Paul. So let's just chill. Yeah.
And he's a Norwich fan.
I know. We're not going to get anybody of any substantive quality while we're in League One.
You do not know that, though.
It's a pretty safe bet. How many managers can you see diving into League One right now?
I do agree. And
into our club in October. Yeah, no chance to buy anybody, no chance to change the side.
You don't need to buy anybody, Steve. You've got the fantasy dream team League One side here.
One manager's dream team is another manager's disaster. Yeah,
but I don't think you'll find many third-tier managers that would say Burson Salinas is one manager's disaster. We've got the horses for the race this time.
Well, how long did Nuno get at Spurs and look at the disaster they're creating? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he didn't bring those players in.
Exactly.
He inherited them.
So if we get rid of Cook, the person we bring in, we get the same situation as when Cook arrived. A manager comes in who has no control over the players he's got. He's got no chance of changing any players he's got. The best chance we've got is keeping Cook until December, when we can, if he's still not performing, we can get rid of him, bring in a manager who's got some time then to evaluate the squad. A couple of weeks in December gives him a chance to evaluate the squad, and then he's got January to start implementing some changes. We've still got time afterwards. Yeah,
I agree with you.
It's a waste of time. It doesn't help anyone. All it will do is bring in a manager, who might not like these players, might not work well with these players, and toxifies the fan base against the new manager, like we did with Paul Cook. And
I agree that we shouldn't get rid of Paul Cook just yet. I don't want to get rid of Paul Cook yet. However, even though it wasn't his fault that the goals didn't go in, the 4 chances that we had, he has to accept some responsibility in the formation and why he's done what he's done. And that isn't something that he's coming out with. He's very, in his after-match speeches, is very, I'm not going to throw any players under the bus. But he doesn't throw himself under either, does he?
I agree, but do we expect him to? We're talking semantics here. We're talking about someone expecting someone to turn around and say, I should have started off with a 4-4-2. I should have started off with a 5-3-2. He's not going to. He told us this from day one. Why are we still thinking this is a surprise? It's going to be 4-2-3-1. In whatever iteration it is, it's going to be same tomorrow. If the players aren't fit, he'll find someone to play it. That's how it's going to be. We don't like this. I think it's time we accepted it. PDQ, because otherwise we're going to start arguing over the same points. And I just want everyone to be happy. I think it can work. I'm convinced it will work. Yeah. We've got the players. I still think we've got a quality manager. Maybe a defensive coach might be an option. I've no arguments with that. I was listening to Marcus Stewart yesterday. I think he made some valuable points. I do think Coulson was put out there as he's a bit more defensive minded, and Plymouth do get a lot of their goals from their left wing. And he was probably he put him there to protect Wolfenden a little bit because he's not a right back. And I think that was the reason why it was done. I don't think it was anything, trying to be anything more mystical than just trying to protect his right back from a very strong left wing on Plymouth. I think that's all it was. That he has
he's not fucking Lionel Messi, Steve. He's not Lionel Messi, is he?
Both their goals came from the left hand side, so they're pretty damn strong.
But the best way of neutralising an attack is to attack them. You make him go backwards. Yeah, absolutely.
When they're attacking you, would you attack them?
You see, I think you're looking too much into that. I think that's been you're looking far too much into that.
How often would Edwards or Salino go running back to help the fullback? Very rarely. It's not instinctively ingrained in them to do that. It is in Coulson, and Coulson has played right wing, so you're getting the best out of both. And it, in the early stages, it didn't seem to affect the performance. It only affected the performance when they scored. Well, that can affect everyone's performance when they scored. We've seen that many times when Coulson wasn't playing.
Okay, all right, we've got Ryan.
I just think we have to roll with it.
But then, there'll be no podcast on anything, because if you just roll with it and then you react to news when it comes, then
I'm not saying we don't react. I just don't think. I think we need to roll with it and not overreact, because I think there's sometimes a little bit too much early overreaction to every single result. And sometimes you've got to take. That's why I went off Twitter Saturday. I knew exactly what the reaction was going to be. I thought, I'm taking a break. I'm not going on it because I know exactly what people are going to be saying. Wilder in, Howen, all that sort of crap that's just not going to happen.
You won't get a name from me because
I'll
give you 92 Premier.
You don't even get a score off you, Gov. Don't worry about it.
You don't know who's going to believe the project. You don't know who's going to believe what they can do. Every manager thinks their own shit don't stink. So everyone will look at that squad and think, oh my God, I can get the best thing out of this team.
I agree.
It's self-made for promotion.
The way I look at it is like, Howe's been offered Celtic, he knocked it back. If he's knocking Celtic back, he's not coming here. If Wilder's not back Championship clubs, he's not coming here. That's the way I'm looking at it, not from the squad. I'm on about from where the club is. If they're knocking those clubs back, they're not going to be diving on a bus to come down here.
Absolutely. As always, Stephen, so well put with lots of passion. We love it. We love it.
Tomorrow. Cheers, Steve.
I hope so. Cheers, Steve. As always, I do love when Stephen comes on. I don't always agree with him. In fact, I rarely agree with him, but I do love it. He says such great points with full of passion.
I do agree with what he's saying now. I mean, we are now in sacking season. We've seen Spurs, Barnsley and Scunthorpe across 3 divisions sack managers today. There's going to be more through this month, isn't there? So
I think tomorrow's going to be a really pivotal game for Cook, actually, because if he loses, we are then back down into the sort of 18th place. And that's going to be a real hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. I don't want him to go.
I agree.
And I want him to succeed more than anything in the world. More so because there's people in the chat saying, bring back McCarthy. So please succeed.
I do agree. I agree with what you're saying there, Vicky.
But I think if we lose tomorrow and we have, we have a 50-50 chance of losing tomorrow, I think his job's going to be on the line.
Yeah, right. I agree with that. I mean, it's a bit of a sorry state, isn't it, when we're looking at Plymouth and Wycombe as being big games for Ipswich Town. But it is what it is.
Well, Wycombe are, because in the Championship last season, Plymouth are still it starts with an M. I can't think of the word. They're a team that's currently got the momentum. That's the word.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because we've spent so much. And the Americans have come in and they've given us all, as you always say, Martin, they've given Cook all the resources he would want. the abundance of resources. We've lost to a team of freebies, basically. But I mean, that Ryan Lowe's a good manager, and they've cultivated something down there, and they got a sold, they sold out home park, and it was a good atmosphere, and they got hungry players. So I mean, you have to give them credit as well.
But they have not given the resources such as Bersen Selina on loan to finish anything lower than top 4. If you forget top 6, like you because it must be on. It can't be a cheap loan, can it, Matt?
Oh God, no. Like, he's a £3 million, but like we said, he's a £3 million player. So he's going to be on decent wage. Whether or not we're splitting that with Dijon or we're paying that all ourselves, I don't know. I don't know what the terms of the contract is, but it's frustrating when you have got that level of talent and you lose to Plymouth. No disrespect to Plymouth, but I mean, come on.
Well, as Stephen says, we all knew what Cook brought to the party in the sense of his formation, but I'm just banging. That's what's frustrating me. That it's so inflexible that even on the morning of the game, you wake up and somebody's throwing up all over the hotel floor. You don't go, right, what horses have we got for the race? Let's try and adapt here and do the best. It's such, as I was saying on Saturday, my 19-month-old son, just with his 2 toys, banging them together, they will fit because I will keep smashing them together to make them fit. And sometimes football's a funny game. You just need to play round pegs in round holes. Where have we heard that before?
Yeah, I do feel like we could go to Wycombe tomorrow and get a good result.
Absolutely. And we should do. The budget is there to do that.
Yeah. They got a budget.
No. They've got Gareth. They've come out from the championship. It's still got a pot to piss in. But they're a championship side, or was. Let's bring in TJ. TJ, lots of chat tonight. What do you think? What do you make of it all?
Yeah, I'm very frustrated after Saturday, to be honest. I was surprised he acted at 60 minutes and put a sub on. I was quite pleased, and I thought there was going to be a bit more going about it. But again, it was a bit too ponderous, a bit too slow. But I also think the players need to have a bit of blame attached to them because we're putting it all on Cook. And he does deserve a fair bit of blame for it as well. But the chances we had to finish it off, or at least win 4-2, and the players bottled it, to be honest. So they need to take a bit of that.
I agree.
When I saw the lineup, I thought my hangover had come early. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, I saw Coulson at right wing. And I think Stephen said he's played there before at Middlesbrough, but we've got Barry and we've got other options who can play out there. Edwards could have played out there and we could have swapped over.
Where is Barry, TJ?
No idea. Don't know.
Where's Carroll? Where's Tom Carroll? Where's that guy gone?
Yeah, he's fallen off the face.
Yeah, where's he?
So we've got this squad depth and we're just putting these players in oppositions. But I think we were very unfortunate to have the right side completely obliterated the morning of the game. And it's a slight get out of jail free for him. If they're back tomorrow, we might see a better performance. But I think I would have taken 3 points from these 2 games. So if we do get that win, I'd be okay. But again, you look at the fixtures coming up, we're playing the playoff teams. And if we lose 2 or 3 of them, we're going to be so far behind. It's going to be difficult to catch up. So I can see exactly why everyone's frustrated. I'm still trying to keep a bit optimistic about it all. And whether that's me being foolish, fine. But that's the mindset. No. That's the mindset I'm trying to keep because I can still see the project. I can see what we've got. I'm just waiting for it to happen a bit. So
you got to keep optimistic, haven't you? You got to keep optimistic. Look, we haven't got Ronald McDonald in charge. You've got guys won trophies at Chesterfield, Portsmouth, Wigan in recent years. So you have to keep optimistic. But Cook would admit himself, we're below par. I agree.
I think you can be optimistic and frustrated, and that's where we all kind of are. We're optimistic that somewhere down the line we will be up there, but frustrated because we're not, and we've got the players, we've got the squad, we've got the budget to do it. But for some reason, we're putting a barrier for ourselves in the way that we play and the leaky defence, the midfield that isn't quite as strong as we want it to be. It's just all not, dare I say that word, gelling still. Yeah,
I think you're right. And I think TJ obviously says hopefully we can win tomorrow. And we all hope we can. But these are the games tomorrow, Saturday just gone, where we have to really gauge our progress and see where we're up against, because beating Fleetwood and Shrewsbury, no disrespect, that shouldn't ever be, for a club of our size and with our budget now, the measuring stick. It should always be against your Plymouth, who are top of the table currently, Wycombe's, who have come down from the Championship. You know, they're your checkpoints to see if you're on the right path, because a top 6 finish is what should be the bare minimum for me, and should not be the, well, that's acceptable achievement, because with the budget you've got, you should have been guaranteed almost a top 6 finish.
Well, but you look at, then you're getting into like was the guy, what's his Paragon, is it? I'm just fed up with the majority of fans accepting mediocrity. I don't think it's mediocre. I think Ipswich fans need to get out of this entitlement. You know, Plymouth fans don't feel entitled in League One, yet they're top of the table. I do feel like there's a lot. Well, we spent this money, we're guaranteed top 2.
It's not entitlement. It's holding an ambition. It's holding an ambition in your hands and not letting it go. Because at the start of the year, everyone, yourself, we're saying top 2. Then it's top 6. In a couple of weeks, it could be top 10. You've got to keep an ambition. You've got to keep the level of acceptable
top 6.
ambition.
Top 6 is par, isn't it? Top 6 has been. Look, I put some hard earned on.
You did.
As champions.
You did.
It's like 20 quid rolling around there. But, you know, let's not get into this entitled phase. You've got to perform on the pitch. And Plymouth are doing it. Fair play to them on an absolute budget. For a reason, we've got all the abundance of options, and it hasn't happened for whatever reason.
No, I just think it's us as fans, TJ, to keep the club honest, to keep the level of ambition to the level that we want it to be. And if you lower the ambition level, then you know that's when the excuses come out. We've been the Plymouths. We've been Plymouth. Don't forget, we've been Plymouth in the Championship in the sense of no money, up against the odds, momentum season. This was our term. And it might sound entitled, but it was our turn to be the professional team with the budget that was going to come, play stylish football, finish inside the top 4. We're currently sitting 11 points away from Wycombe in 3rd. That's a mountain. That's 4 games already, T. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed by it, and I expect a lot better from it. But again, I think, like I said before, I see the longer term project, and I personally am willing to stick with it. I think when we went on this run of 1 loss in 6, but these arguments weren't here. And as soon as we lose 1 game because the players couldn't put the ball in the net, it's just pandemonium sometimes. And I think you look at our captain, he's been booked the past 3 games in a row. Where's the discipline? Where's that leadership on the pitch that we were told Captain Morsey has come in to shore things up? And I just think there needs to maybe be a touch more. He's got to get them by the scruff of the neck as well. We need a bit of that on the pitch. And that's just my thought on it. But
on the flip side, TJ, everyone goes, it's just too nice. Now you've got a captain who's getting stuck in. Came here on a red card. Had to miss 3 games.
Good point.
Do you know what I mean? Now he's like doing this. It's not so nice, Ipswich. He's getting stuck in. He gets the yellow card. He came with that reputation. Everyone knew he was going to come with that. Almost like a walking yellow card, if you will.
I like it. I
do as well. We've been missing that. We said when we did our first ever shows, we're missing that kind of veteran who will stick a foot in, you know, and you've got it now in Morsey. But yeah, I mean, it's frustrating if you do get booked every game because you're going to end up getting suspended.
Yes. I mean, you could argue we could do a few more of those, to be fair, TJ. You know, a few more that are going to roll up the sleeves and put the studs on.
Yeah.
I just don't see enough of it at the minute.
We're never going to win every game. We weren't going to come into this season winning every single game, but we set ourselves up for a really hard challenge because we lost the first 3 or 4 or whatever it was that we lost, and we're always playing catch up now. And now we're coming into the time that we're playing the top 6, 7, 8 teams when they're starting to be on a roll as well. So our challenges is getting harder and harder as the games go on.
Yeah,
I don't expect to win every match, but it's the frustration because not that we're entitled, but we should be winning some of these matches. We only just won Fleetwood. Let's not forget that. It was a 93rd, 94th minute winner.
And Mogul on the opening day, 94th equaliser. We were celebrating like we got promoted. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Love it. TJ, as always, I hear some good news has come your way, my young fellow. And congratulations must be extended.
It's going down.
Oh, thank you very much.
Tell the people if you're comfortable to. Are you happy to? If not, do not worry. But
it's all right. I got engaged. We all move on.
Yay! Congratulations!
You made the worst mistake of your life, but you don't know it yet.
Thank you. Have a good night.
I can speak from experience. But no, congratulations, teacher. Honestly, truly mean that. I'll buy a hat ready for the occasion. The Gov will be in attendance. But no, honestly, congratulations. All right.
Cheers, everyone. Have a good night.
And you look after yourself. Mark, time's ticking. What's going on over the Irish Sea?
What's the story, lads?
How you doing?
These screens are over the shop here. My camera needs fixing.
Oh, Irish eyes dancing.
You eating those Halloween sweets yet? You had a big bucket full.
Yeah, the big bucket. We didn't get any caller. It was raining very heavily in Dublin last night, so we didn't get anybody. No fireworks, and it went. There's a few fireworks, but nothing to write home about. But I just said I'd sort of call in to tell you that I am a Paul Cook supporter, very much so, and I want to keep him. He plays that formation all the time. He's not going to change. He's won with that formation all the time. Eventually, he's won with it. Like it's not what I like. It's not what I like watching, but I think we're doing all right. I made a comment about Macaulay Bonne, on Twitter saying that he missed a sitter. He did. It wasn't calling him a bad player. He's typical League One player, and like he was sent down from the championship to improve himself, and he won't be getting back up there if he keeps on missing sitters like that. Now, he's a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but I think the whole team are League One level, and I think maybe fans ourselves, we have to realise that we're actually in League One. I've accepted it. I don't expect us to get up this season. I think we still have enough in us. I haven't seen any player or any teams who are any better than us, to be honest with you. There hasn't been anyone who came and gave us a proper hiding.
Well, we haven't played anybody yet who you would consider could give us a proper hiding, in all respect. Like
other than Mogul, like you say, Mark. Yeah. Other than Mogul.
I think we're still very much heading in the right direction. It might take a little bit longer than people think, but we're a League One team, and League One teams are inconsistent. And to be a good League One team, you have to be more consistent. And that will only tell over the 46 games or whatever it is. Like, there's no great teams come up from League One. Come on, let's call a spade a spade. You don't come up from League One and conquer.
The trouble is, if we lose the next 4 or we don't get a win in the next 4, then we are going to be propping up the bottom of the league. And that's not acceptable.
No, definitely not.
You see, I look at that sort of reverse, and I think this division is so poor that it keeps managers around longer than perhaps they should. And that's not Paul Cook. That's in general. Because you could talk about Lambert, but look at last year. We couldn't buy a goal, couldn't buy a win, but we're so close to the playoffs still because the league is so ridiculously poor. Like you'll play Wycombe, and then you'll go and play. I mean, November's a bit of a difficult month in general, but you'll play Oxford, where you could think should beat them at home. Sunderland, Rotherham, then Crewe comes along. Like you should always have a game that's coming up that keeps you just the wall at the door, keeping it back a little bit. And so these are the games tomorrow, Mark. I'm looking and I'm watching with really eager eyes because I want to see us match up against the side that is third, 11 points clear of us, come down from the champion. I
actually think that we should beat Wycombe tomorrow night. I don't like their style of football. I think we play much better.
It's effective, though, isn't it?
It's effective,
Your Irish brothers have contributed to the pod here. Look, super sticker.
Yes, five euros every time this comes an old donate.
I think the lads need it.
Absolutely. In that case, join us Wednesday because this man here will be making a contributor appearance. So get your wallet out for that one, Mr. Town. Crunch of £5, not to be hard done by. Slaps his Elizabeth Fry on the table. Lee Anderson, Mark, we are conceding goals to League One players who are taking their chances against us. Mike Woods, get well soon. Yeah. Colin, yes, Colin's not very well. The goat is not very well. He's got antibiotics. Colin, get well soon.
Get well soon.
Yeah, get well soon.
Can I say a bit about our defence? Probably what's happening lately and towards last year when you keep on referring to we kept a lot of clean sheets last year. I think last year we, as a team, sort of didn't know how to attack. So effectively we were defending for the whole bloody 90 minutes, really.
Yeah.
We did play one up front last year at times. So I think as a team, we're attacking more this year, probably leaving a lot more at the back than we did last year. If the transfer window is open tomorrow, let's call a spade a spade. Let's face it, who would you get rid of? you wouldn't get rid of many of them. How would you replace them? If they're going to come in, they're going to sit on the bench. We have a good full 11, you know, so we just need to be more consistent with them, really.
Absolutely.
And
Mark,
I agree with that, mine. And, you know, Mark makes some great points there. You know, but Ipswich has done nothing for 20 years. What's another season just to cement some foundation for next season? I don't really get it.
For me, it's really frustrating because a lot of the teams that were playing, I think I've said this before, a lot of teams we play week in, week out, weren't even in the Football League when Ipswich were in the Premier League. So it's those like Morecambe and Cheltenham's, and no disrespect for them, but they're not. You know, I didn't even know what colour most of them played into the last year, you know. So
Brandon Carter, Matt does a £20 donation.
Oh, please. I've done 60 quid on taxis.
Keep it coming, keep it coming.
Look at that, look, Matt.
We should have a bloody barometer when I'm on for money.
It's the world's smallest violin playing just for you, Matt. And that's £60.
Who's going to put up the taxis? Oh, Matt will do it. I'll do it. Don't you worry about it.
Well, it was a tax charge, Matthew, for the fact that I said I'll book a taxi. Oh, no, you country bumpkin. There'll be loads of taxis there. We turned up and there was not a taxi in sight. So no right, you bloody pay. Country has Gov still not paid? No, I've paid. I've paid exactly £1 of it because it's not yet confirmed it's gone through. But Mark, thank you so much for popping on.
Well, listen, lads. Enjoy the match tomorrow. See you Wednesday.
See you later.
Wednesday. We've got Neil Perks who's at the game. Neil, talk to us. How did you see it?
Me and Neil are now Facebook.
Hi guys.
We're Facebook buddies now.
Facebook friends.
Yeah, we are. Good.
Hi guys. Yeah, I really enjoyed the game Saturday. Big shout out to Matt and his family. Absolutely lovely people they were. Matt Stannard and his wife and kids, beautiful people. And met small world really, because I was in town.
Matt Stannard, lay off.
It's a really small world actually, Martin. Because I met Matt for breakfast in the morning. We had a really nice brekkie, and I bought some sweets for his kids. And I was walking through town, and it was quite busy. And you think, just shows you think it's a small world. And who's coming off the bus and talking? Colin Plum.
I know this. I know.
He's right there. He is.
Brilliant.
But no, Colin was lovely. Colin and his wife are lovely as well. Lovely people, those guys. And I got to meet some other fans at the ground and chat to them. And we saw the players get off the coach. Yeah, it was a lovely day bar the result. Thoughts on the game? Felt very sorry for Coulson. I did. Other than really that early chance, he just wasn't in the game at all. He wasn't Coulson, and shouldn't have been playing out there at all. Just shouldn't have been out there. And Penny was just absolutely awful. He was defensively. He was just absolutely appalling. He was, that guy. What he was doing for the first go and just his general defending was just awful.
Yeah,
really was. I mean, I felt a bit sorry for Walton because obviously we were behind the first half, and he made hell of a good save. He did. He couldn't really do any more, and the guy just tapped it in. But it was so close to half time, and I think that was the turning point. I think when they got in and they were buzzing and they came out flying second half, and we just went at the races. We won.
Absolutely. It's the worst time to concede, isn't it? Just before the break, because Cook is thinking to himself, "This is going to be my team talk. This is what I'm going to say," and suddenly that's gone out the window. And they go in with all the momentum, don't they? So I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. Obviously, I don't get to watch him very much, and I'd never seen any of the new players. But Edmondson, what a defender he is! I got to say, what a defender that guy is. Oh wow, he didn't put a foot wrong. I'd say he was probably the best player the whole match. I mean, what a player! First half, no one could get a look in against that guy. No one. What a centre half, honestly.
And a good goal as well. And he went over to the old home crowd, didn't he, doing this?
Matt's a big fan
I didn't catch that bit, but...
Matt's a big fan of Scotland. Can you find any more up there? That's the question. Can we find any more Edmondsons up north of the border?
Yeah, he was like really good. Toto, I thought, did okay. I don't think Wolfenden, I wasn't that impressed with Wolfenden, to be honest. He was steady in the first half, but second half, not good at all. I know what you were talking about, Gov, the other day about Evans, but I actually thought Evans played quite well. I did. When I was there, I thought he played quite well. And I was quite impressed with Morsey as well, really. But he was having a running battle with Kamara all the time. They were just seemed to be having a running battle, those two. Yeah, I think Kamara was frustrated because he couldn't get into the game. They kept him quite quiet. I think the subs, certainly when Selena came on, Ipswich really sort of perked up at the end. They did. I mean, they were really last 20, 25 minutes, and one of those 3 chances, you've got to stick one of those in the net. One of those 3 opportunities. What chances they were. Edwards on the centre circle, can't even hit the target. Got to make the goalie work. Got to.
Yeah.
Bon. And then Harper, I don't know what he's doing there. I just don't. Clean through. The wrong player, isn't it? And I don't know what he's doing. Matt said if you check back on the highlights, he's trying to square it or something. I don't know what. I'm surely you just put your foot through it, don't you? 1-on-1.
I think he got caught in 2 minds.
Mine. You said he was going to be player of the year.
Yeah.
He's so disappointed. I knew he'd miss that. And if it was a shot, Neil, it was going miles wide.
Yeah, that was a glorious chance. That was absolutely glorious. I mean, to be honest, when Selina came on, I don't know if he was up against Wilson. It might have been Wilson. They might have tried to double up on him, but they didn't know what to do really when Selina come on. I mean, he was doing different skills, and they looked a different team when he came on. To be honest,
he's a level above. But Harper's so disappointed because it's £500,000. That ball's going to hit the bloody corner flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said as well, Pickett needs more than 10 or 11 minutes. He does. Yeah. He should have been brought on earlier because then they switched to sort of 2 up front, or it looked like they switched to 2 up front, and we looked a lot better again then as well.
Yeah.
But he won't play it, will he?
Well, I was going to ask you this. Obviously, how do you see Cookie's substitutions? Because obviously Stewart and Brenner were sort of joking in the commentary that it should go to 2 up top. You're never going to get it. There was, I think, 20 minutes between Plymouth scoring and us making a change, if I remember correctly. Is he too slow to make a change? And if not too slow, is it just too pedestrian, too paint by numbers in the sense of his replacements? How do you see his in-game management?
Well, I think he gave Selina was it about half an hour? I think he gave Selina. I think that was fair enough. But yeah, Piggott was just brought on way too late, wasn't he? Just way too late, really. You got to give the guy at least a good 20, 25 minutes. Surely you have. I mean, he was brought in as a big name, and you know, I said to my friend after the game, he would walk into a lot of League One teams, wouldn't he? And he struggled to even get any game time with us hardly. He'd start
for Plymouth, wouldn't he? It'd start for Plymouth.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Stephen
the
Parry.
Thing is, your subs have to come on and make some impact. Otherwise, what's the point in subbing?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's always a little bit too late. Is plan B, is that just a little bit not quite right? And the changes just don't seem to add up in what we need to change the game. So we needed a goal on Saturday. We needed to change the game to win, or to at least draw. And the subs just, for me, like you say, Harper, no, not for me.
Right, no.
Neil?
I mean, I don't think I'm not feeling that confident about tomorrow. I'm just not. I spoke to someone the other day, and I mean, they're just going to look to bully us, aren't they? That's what they're going to look to do tomorrow. It's just going to be down your neck all night, and then we've got to stand up to it tomorrow, aren't we, to get anything out of this game we have tomorrow?
I feel like we can do that. Against these. I think we've got the personnel to do it. We've just got to take our chances when they come along. That's all.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, really is.
It really is. Neil, pleasure as always to discuss.
Thank you, guys.
Look after yourself. Thanks ever so much. Let's move it then to tomorrow. Wycombe, as I said earlier in the show, this is where I'm measuring us against the opposition. This is a good team, whether you like the way they do it or not. They're third for a reason. They're in the Championship last season. Before I grab both of your thoughts on who's going to be playing, I've got Mark Bliss. Had we taken the chances being talked about, Cook would have got it right, wouldn't he? He can't put the ball in the net himself. So if we win tomorrow, it's all players, not Cook. Right?
Well, I mean, look, it's the fact that he can't influence, like Vicky said right at the top of the show, he can't influence the missing
No, you can't.
opportunities, can he? I mean, look, Macaulay Bonne has made a superb run. You watch it back on the YouTube. He makes a superb run to be in that position. For whatever reason he hit it against the defender. Nothing Cook can do about that. Absolutely.
We've got Mike Woods converting the chance will make the difference tomorrow. Lee Bayliss. We have too many attacking players and not a lot defensively. The legend that is Mr. Ipswich Town, I agree. Takes about 10 minutes to even warm up. 25 minutes is perfect. You'll be fit enough to run your bollocks off for about 20, 25 minutes. So tomorrow, who starts, who doesn't? Let's start with the striker then. Is it Bonne up top again, or do you think, okay, you're maybe a little bit fatigued here. Let's start with the pig. Where are we with this one?
Got to start Bonne.
Yeah, you're starting Bon.
Yeah. You what, sorry?
I think I'd go with Pigott just to give him a chance. I mean, he has scored 20 plus goals, and I do love Bon. I think he's doing great, and I love the fact he's an Ipswich fan. It's brilliant. Feels like he's representing us.
I don't think it's the game to gamble. If it was playing somebody else a bit lower down the league, maybe. But I think this is Wycombe.
Gamble though. He's got 20 plus goals, Vicky, last season.
Not for us. Not for us. He hasn't.
True. No, I don't disagree.
Against Bon, who's got 10.
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, he's got more goals than what our top scorer got in all the last season.
Yeah,
even here,
absolutely.
Right? Yeah, it's a fair point.
Okay, hang on. Before we go any further, we've got this man joining us here, Cruncher. You asked for the link.
It is.
What's Scrappy Do? Has he been on one tonight, Martin? Old Scrappy Do up there?
No, he's been very reserved actually for him.
He was giving the big and everyone in the WhatsApp group earlier, and he comes on here and he's like a pussy man.
I don't need to shout like you do, just to make me point. You know what I mean?
You were angry earlier. He was angry in the WhatsApp group.
Well, Martin was annoying me because he was being grumpy. When
Martin annoyed me as well.
He's grumpy. He annoys me, everybody.
For those that don't know, I know when I've got these two hooks around the mouth, and I just keep going and going and going, and eventually it all goes silent. But they're online, so you know they're chatting shit to each other.
Yeah. And then he
like
starts
a couple of angry
gifts.
bees.
He starts sending me gifts that like having a go at me. Annoys me.
Anyway, Cruncher, talk to me about Bon or Pigott up front for you.
Pigott for me tomorrow night.
Yeah, I agree. I
think I'll start Pigott in the next 3 games. So I'll start him tomorrow, and then I'll start him against Oldham, and I'll start him against Colchester. He needs to play games, Matt.
Yeah.
You know, 12 minutes off the bench. 12 minutes off the bench the other day is not enough for him. He's played hardly any football lately. Yeah. Look, Bond's been a fantastic signing so far, but he's had 2 or 3 quiet games, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Missed two really good chances Saturday. I'm not saying for the next 5-10 games, but I think Pigott, he deserves a chance. You know, he's come to the club. He can't sit on the bench forever.
No.
He would have scored them 2 goals. He would have scored them 2 goals on Saturday. He would have put them chances away.
Well, you don't know that.
I do. He scored 22 goals. And that's why Macaulay Bon is a League One footballer and he's not playing in the Championship.
Lee Brown says, don't park in the main car park tomorrow, Rich. Nightmare to get out of.
That's where I'm parking. I'm parking there with Callie. And we're going to go around and see, I think we're going to see Morsey and Toto after the game.
Ooh, friends.
There you go.
Friends. Get him on the show. Get him on the match day ticket.
Absolutely. We've got Kay trying to be patient, let the team build, but increasingly pessimistic about that we're going to achieve anything. Team seems too flaky.
What do people want to achieve, though, mine? That's what I want to know. What do you want to achieve? I don't get it. Do you want to be champions in the top 2?
Ruthless aggression.
Top 6 is going to get you playing 3rd place, isn't it?
That was my best Vince McMahon impression. Ruthless.
At the moment, we should be looking at top 6. If we can build on that, fair play. That's what I think.
I've got a fucked throat. Never know, would you? Right. Behind the striker, who are we going with? Who is Burns back, Mr. Crunch? Do we know?
Burns is in the squad tomorrow. Penny's not in the squad. Coulson's playing left back, and match favourite Kane Vincent-Young's back in the squad.
KVY, baby. He's back. Why was he not involved on Saturday?
I don't know, Matt, because they were saying, I read Andy Warren saying that on the day of the game, Danassian and Burns were ill. Well, Burns was ill on Tuesday. You know, I know that for a fact he was ill. So where he got that story from, I don't know. You want to watch this, Andy Warren? If you want to get any snippet,
because they did say he was ill on the morning of the game, but we knew Tuesday he was poorly, didn't we? Because you told me.
He didn't travel. He didn't travel on Thursday. He didn't travel down. He was going to go down in a car on Friday if he felt better. So,
KVY's not useless, is he? He had a bad game against Bolton. One game doesn't make you a bad player, right?
But doesn't that tell you that he was very happy and comfortable with Wolfenden at right back? So Wolfenden,
was he though? That's why Coulson came in on the right hand side. Is what everyone's kind of saying, isn't it? To protect him a little bit. And you can't blame Wolfie. He's having to play there because the manager's told him.
So if Burns is back in the squad, Vicky, is he your right winger tomorrow?
Yes.
Not Hayden Coulson?
No.
You surprise me. Who's playing behind the striker, Vicky, for you? Who is it? Still Chaplin, or are you if you're changing the guy up top, or are you changing the guy behind him?
Chaplin's on fire for me, and like I said earlier, Chaplin, Burns, and Bon. I think that's a really good formation.
Agreed.
And I just don't see why we have to change it when we're playing third place.
Were you surprised, Matt, he took Chaplin off chasing a goal?
He had a quiet game, didn't he? I do feel like he had a quiet game. But you know, with a player like Chaplin in League One, who's dropped down from the Championship, he could turn the game on a sixpence any minute. We saw that against Fleetwood, didn't he? When he sort of turned on the edge of the D and scored that goal out of nothing. But he had a quiet game Saturday. But again, he should play tomorrow. Absolutely, he should be playing against Wycombe.
Who's your left winger, Crunch? Is it Carl fouling to impress Edwards, or is it Burson, the wonder man, Selena?
Yeah, look, Edwards, I think we were blowing smoke up his arse way too soon. You know,
just
look, very, very talented. Not nothing against him. He's a very talented lad. No end product, no goals, no assists so far. People will say he hasn't had a regular start because he had an injury, which is a fair point. But Saturday he played better actually on the right when he went over there. Yes, Selena starts for me. Selena starts. That was the best we've seen of him. That was the best we've seen of him, Martin, so far on Saturday when he came on.
Yeah, it was also the best of Carl Edwards we've seen on the right.
Probably, yeah.
You know, because he's got the ability to go on the outside with his right foot or come inside with his left foot, and a fullback just didn't really know how to contend with, how to deal with him. Is it Morsey and Evans still then for you, Vicky? It's got to be, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all right. Back four then. If KVY is in the squad, does that mean the Don is still missing, Matt?
Maybe. We're speculating here, aren't we?
We are.
So Coulson will go in with where Penny was Saturday. He'll go left back. Yeah. You got to presume KVY will come in. I'm not subscribing to this fact that Wycombe are going to bully us. No chance. Not with Morsey in the middle. No chance they're going to bully us. Let's get on the front foot and start bloody bullying them, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Ipswich always have to play second field, don't they? Like we were saying, this is Plymouth's Cup final. Make it our Cup final. Let's go there tomorrow night and bully them. We've got the personnel to do it. Then bunch of novices in that team. Got people who dropped down from the Championship, same as Wycombe.
You've got Donatian in the squad as well as KVY. So, although I'm not seeing KVY's the squad is Walton, Haladki, Donatian, Penny, Coulson, Edmondson, Enciala, Burgess, Wolfenden, Morsey, Evans.
I was told KVY's in the squad. He's travelled.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Back two. Is it still Toto best defender in the league next to George Rolls-Royce Edmondson for you, Crunch?
Look, Toto's done all right. He hasn't done nothing wrong, has he? Really? So
not I think right either.
Yeah, but he's not been at fault for any goals.
True.
He hasn't, has he? He hasn't. And you can't just
no.
Burgess had a few dodgy games. So Toto's come in now, and he's what's he played, Martin? 3 games, 3 on the spin. Yes. He's had that before. Yes. He's done okay. Is he long term? Probably not. You know, Burgess will probably come back somewhere along the line. It was interesting when I listened to Edmondson saying he prefers to actually play on the left. So since he's played on the left, he's playing his best football, isn't he? Really, so far.
Akin Fenner will probably play tomorrow. Maybe Toto.
He can't run. Fucking hell.
He scored, didn't he, Saturday?
Yeah, he just sort of waddles about. But we know what we're getting. You know what you're getting tomorrow night? You're getting big long balls. You're getting a lot of set pieces. Jacobson's probably their best player. His delivery is very good on the set pieces.
Set pieces,
but we got to win the battles. You've got to win your battles to start with, and then hopefully look, we've got better players than this lot, haven't we? Come on.
Yeah. If Fleetwood can stick 3 past them, we can.
Well, 0-0 incoming. Is it still Walton in goal, or is it Haladki coming back? Who, by the way, I'm just asking this question just to get this little tidbit in. I've just had a bid from AC Milan on FM for Haladki. He's that good. AC Milan have come calling.
How much was it?
It was 2.5 million. I said no, come back with a better offer. But yeah, he's that good. He's Haladki, and he's not even playing. Anyway, that's in the game world. Is it still Walton? I imagine it's got to be, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Score predictions then. What are we
going? Holy, he's Matt Sharp now.
Yeah, let's bring Holy back. That'll solve all our problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's done right. Cambridge in 2 games apparently. He's done really well. Fair play to him going down there and playing a couple of games.
Absolutely.
You know, nothing against him as a person because he's a really nice guy.
No, it was AC Milan's proper team. I checked it out. Thank you very much, Ben Moore. Score predictions then as we round up a very lively Oh, hang on, Matt Stannard. What do you think of Holy? Great save and starting and set up a goal for Cambridge.
It was a great save to his left. He actually did dive, which was
He actually did. Yes, I saw that. It's what surprised me as well. It's what stood out to me. The tree has moved. What are we saying? Score prediction then. What are we going with? Crunch?
1-0.
1-1. Who's the goal scorer?
Piggott.
No, you're going to say it. Vicky, go, team, please. No, score prediction, please.
Do you know, it's so difficult because with Ipswich, it's like, I said this on one of the social media sites, it's like you're standing on the side of a road and looking both ways to cross and then getting hit by an aeroplane. You can't expect anything. I could say 10-0 and it would be just as plausible as 2-2. So I really don't know. I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0. Oh, that would be that's you normally say for our bold predictions 5 minutes before kickoff in the pre-game show, because that's bold, a clean sheet and a win. 3-2 from Fishing with Nick. Mike Wood says hard fought 2-1 win. Mike the Fishman, I want a 3-1.
You didn't actually say 1-0 to who though, did you?
No, I didn't. Hedging me bets there.
Yeah, she's governed it. She's doing the old gov, sit on the fence. Mark Bliss 2-2. Emerson says 1-0 Town. The good doctor 2-1 Town. Ben Moore 2-1 Wycombe. Jacobson and Akinfenwa. And Ben's gone for a home win. Get out, go away. No, we're talking Town, not talking Wycombe. Ben, Matt, sorry. What's the score?
Yeah, I really thought we'd win Saturday, and I thought Tuesday would be the harder game. I did think this would be the harder game, being that they were a championship side. I think back to that New Year's Day game when we drew 1-1 with them. I feel like probably it's going to be a similar kind of game to that. So I think 1-1. I hope we can scrape it, because I don't think 1-1's enough for Cook, to be honest. I think 1 point from 2 games against top 6 sides isn't very good. And it kind of like, where we said we've got that 7 points across 3 games, it kind of deflates that a little bit. But on paper, I do feel like a 1-1 at Wycombe is probably a good result. But is it enough for Cookie and the people that want him out? Probably not.
I don't know. I want to see a good display first and foremost against the team. As I've said, I'm going to be sort of, judging us against, because they're in third place. A win would be absolutely delightful, but an away point. No, I think we're going to win.
It's like Marcus Stewart said yesterday. The performance is what you want.
Yeah.
If we play well, and we don't win, I think we can accept that. If we play poorly and lose, it's going to be an absolute.
I don't know. I still think we need a win. You can't come away from these 2 games with 0 points.
We're unpredictable. You are now. Who'd have thought we'd have won 4-0 at Portsmouth, mine? Do you know what I mean? I thought we'd lose that game. When we said, what's your points across October? I said, that's the game we're going to lose. We coasted it. So you just don't know.
But we're not chasing Portsmouth, are we? We're chasing Wycombe. You can't give them 5 games.
Well, we're chasing. Is it Oxford who are 6th? I think we're chasing them in all reality.
Yeah, I'm still chasing 3rd. You never give up until it's mathematically impossible.
True. I mean, there's a lot of games to go. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
You're 4 games. If you beat them twice, that's 2 games. They've got to step up. You don't want to give them 5 games. That's just then it is officially dead for me. That because it's a long way.
Even at this time of the year, even when you're in November,
I can't see Wycombe if they're the 3rd place team slipping up 5 times and us winning 5 games in that. I can't see it. It's
Okay.
No.
Maybe Ainsworth will play himself, Matt, because do you reckon he could do 2 games in 2 days? Played on Sunday, didn't he, in that Sunday League team?
Ainsworth.
He did. Right, we're going to close the show.
I like it.
This is the Cruncher. That is the Media Mogul. That is, No Filter Yorkshire V. I am the Gov. This is an FCA finalist presentation of Talking Town. We're going to close with a song. Cruncher, do you want to introduce this song?
Yeah, well, I've messaged Dan Palfrey today. It really disappoints me, Martin, the stance of the club. We had a chat on WhatsApp about it. George, you did put some comments in there, but
why not play the song before an FA Cup game? They've got to play music before the game, right? They're going to sit there in silence. Give it a go. See where the fans pick it up.
Exactly.
So what? As far as you're aware, what have the club said?
Well, I messaged Dan, and then he said he gave me Neil Hawes's email address. I've sent it on to him, and I'll see what happens. But I've spoke to George, and he's spoken to the club, and there wasn't really a.
No,
it's like,
let me say right now, Rich. No one likes singing the blues. Rubbish. If George had written that song, everyone would be fuming. This is a great track. The chorus is great. Great terrace chant. Absolutely brilliant.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if it's in the chorus. It's going to be just another point. But this is, what is it, Rich?
Proud to wear the blue. Matt could be a backing singer, you know, because you've got a good little voice there, man.
Yeah. Give me on those harmonies.
It's ropey.
It's that time of year nearly where we're going to have to wheel that out again.
We're going to... Cliff
You're paying this year. We're going to pay royalties this year.
What? You don't pay. What we're going to do is Cliff Richard, blow the cobwebs off and dust off the old Christmas song. What's it called, Matt?
Christmas Telly.
Christmas Telly. There you go. We're getting that.
I it, Matt. I think it's quite good. Whereas Ollie, my 13-year-old, said it was tragic.
Well, there you go. There's your audience.
That's 13-year-olds for you.
Exactly.
I don't think it was Matt's target audience. Stephen Parry says, send it to Brett. Good shout that. You are obviously friendly with Mr. Johnson. Matt Spanner, friends. Can we crowdsource it? Let's play it all on our phones at a given time. Actually, that brings us to another point, which I'll come to another show, but that bloody flash thing, that crap they do.
I knew you were going to say that.
Bin that right off, please. Every time I see it, I want to just crawl into my seat.
They were doing that at cricket the other day. They're doing that at cricket the other day when I had the phones out with the torches. Anyway, big up to England. Shout out to England that smashed out Sri Lanka today.
Ross Butler.
Oh, I've got some good news for you.
Talking cricket. Check it out.
And about talking cricket. But anyway, here we go. So George Baker, proud to wear the blue. Thank you all for watching. Here he is. And I'll drop that one.
To wear the blue. Follow Ipswich till the day you die. Till the day you die. With the dignity of Ramsey and Robson's genius too. There were eras when the town would seldom lose. The Lehman silver trophies were lifted to the sky. And all of Europe feared the Super Blues. But Dad said always be proud to wear the blue.